I'm sure you know a lot about diabetes. Why diabetes happens is something that people don't talk about. But I'd like for you to understand what diabetes is all about. What happens in a slice of bread? It all forms into a complex of molecules we call starch. So starch really is this with a bunch of fiber. You create like little strands of glucose. Those strands are again further broken down into individual glucose molecules. Now let's take a look at the normal cell and go to the microscopic level and see what happens when this glucose arrives at a normal cell junction. It's a normal cell with these little red dots. Those are gates, if you will, through which glucose can enter the cells. Let's concentrate on one of these gates. Let's expand that further. These little yellow squiggly lines, it's fat within cells. In response to glucose, our pancreas sends insulin. Here is three insulin molecules. They're like a lock and key. They attach themselves to the cell wall. Insulin has these little helpers inside the cell. They go out and help opening up the gates. When the gates open, glucose come flooding in. We need glucose as a source of energy. Diabetic cell looks very, very similar to a normal cell, except there's more fat strands. Now let's take a look at the little gate. And here's the cell wall, here's the little gate, red gate, and then the little fat strands. And when glucose comes in, obviously insulin is released, and this is type 2 diabetes. And when it does, we have the little helpers, if you will, try to get to the gate to open it. But guess what? They just land up in the middle, and most of them cannot help open those gates up. We have a condition known as type 2 diabetes. Excess glucose in the bloodstream, excess insulin in the bloodstream, and most importantly, fat in the cells is a typical thing for type 2 diabetes. Why don't I give you a visible, very obvious example? Imagine a person injecting themselves with insulin every day, and here is what it looks like. It's because, think of it as if insulin loves to hold on to fat around it. Insulin loves fat. It wants fat to be around it. There are ways in which we can actually reverse this whole phenomena so that you can get rid of fat, you can get rid of insulin dependence. Once it's gone, you'll be very happy to see the results. Okay, so that's where I am. Thank you so much. Bye.
Let us work with you to learn how to eat delicious foods, but at the same time also reverse your chronic diseases such as diabetes or high blood pressure permanently. Join us at Circee Health.